Welcome back to another episode of The Human Side of AI, and I'm your host, Flora. But it's Monday, which means the AI hosts are taking over. Today, they're diving into something we're actually living through right now inside Club Jam. What happens when you let AI run real pieces of your community for you? The brand voice, the content idea bank, even the DMs. Although, when I send you guys a DM from Flora, yes, it's me, a real human, and I get that all the time. Today's AI hosts are going to break down what that setup looks like in practice and how any small business owner could build the same system for their own business. Let's get into it.
Imagine throwing this massive, epic dinner party, like the biggest one of your life. You've sent out all the invitations. People are just flooding through the front door, and the energy is, well, it's electric.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a great time.
Right. But there's a massive catch for you. You are the only person cooking the food. You're the only one pouring the drinks. I mean, you are essentially the bouncer at the door, the entertainment in the living room, and the janitor cleaning up the spills. And at first, sure, the adrenaline carries you. But by hour 3, you're completely exhausted.
You're just running on fumes at that point. And the guests, they can feel that energy dropping, so the whole party starts suffering.
Exactly.
It's a totally unsustainable model. But the crazy thing is, it's the exact model most creators use when they try to build a digital community.
And that burnout, that specific trap, is the core tension we are tackling today on the deep dive. So, welcome. Our mission today is to explore the ultimate blueprint for modern, scalable community building for you guys.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we're basing this on a really fascinating case study of a community called Club Jam, along with some technical platform guides for a community hosting software called Skool. Basically, we're looking at how to solve that dinner party nightmare by combining an all-in-one platform with like an invisible AI-powered workforce that just runs the day-to-day operations for you.
Because building a paid community is honestly incredibly lucrative for small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it creates this massive moat around your brand, and it generates recurring revenue, which is the dream.
Right.
But to avoid that burnout trap you just mentioned, you really have to separate the architecture of the community from the operational engine.
Mm-hmm.
And the architecture, based on the sources we're analyzing today, is Skool.
Right. So before we even get into the AI engine part of this, we kind of need to understand the vehicle it's driving. Looking at these technical guides, Skool essentially collapses 3 distinct tools into one really clean interface.
Yeah, they keep it super streamlined.
They really do. You've got a community feed for daily interactions. You've got a course classroom for structured learning. And this is the big one, baked in gamification. So like points, levels, leaderboards.
And that gamification is genuinely the critical piece of the whole architecture. It's not just some cute novelty,
Yeah.
It fundamentally alters user behavior.
How so?
Well, when you integrate points and levels directly into the exact same interface where people are already taking courses and having discussions, you tap into a really potent dopamine loop.
Oh, right. Because people love watching a number go up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Members are incentivized to engage because their engagement actually translates into visible status inside the group.
It's kind of like, well, think of it like a self-contained digital college campus, right? Where everything is just interconnected.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, so the community feed is like the quad where everyone hangs out and debates stuff. The course area is the lecture hall. But the gamification, that acts like the social currency of the campus. So you participate in the quad, you earn points, and those points actually unlock VIP access to advanced lectures or exclusive resources.
Which forces all the different elements to feed right back into each other.
Exactly. It makes the whole thing sticky.
And that integration, it just eliminates so much of the administrative friction that usually completely kills communities. I mean, take something as simple as scheduling a live Q&A session.
Oh man, scheduling is the worst.
It really is. But Skool has this built-in calendar for live sessions that automatically adjusts across time zones for every single user.
Which is massive. I mean, trying to coordinate a global community where like my 3 p.m. EST is your 8 p.m. GMT usually requires 3 different third-party apps and just constant confusion.
Right. But here it keeps everything in-house.
Yeah.
You've got member directories, native payments, recurring billing, full mobile apps with push notifications. It is engineered from the ground up to keep the user inside that ecosystem.
And their pricing model kind of reflects that too, right?
Yeah. It forces creators to treat it as a serious business. So Skool offers a hobby plan for $9 a month, but that takes a 10% transaction fee on all your memberships.
10% is pretty steep.
It is. But then there's the Pro plan for $99 a month, which drops that fee down to just 2.9%.
So the math there is really a built-in forcing function. The moment you start actually scaling and moving any significant volume of paid members, the Pro plan is really the only logical choice to maximize your revenue.
Exactly. The platform is essentially betting on your success and pushing you to scale up.
But let me play devil's advocate here for a second for the listener, because if I'm a small business owner and I already have a really solid email list, abandoning the simplicity of a newsletter to go build this massive digital campus sounds like a ton of overhead.
I get that.
Right. Like, why introduce all that friction? Everyone already checks their email every day. Forcing an audience to learn a brand new platform, remember a new login, it just feels like throwing up a massive wall for your customers.
You are putting up a wall, sure, but it's a filter, not a barrier.
Okay, tell me more.
Think about it. A newsletter inbox is just a battlefield. You are fighting for attention against, retail discounts, utility bills, 100 other creators. It is a very scattered, passive audience.
That's fair. The inbox is pretty chaotic.
Totally. But a platform like Skool turns that scattered audience into a single home base. You trade a large, passive audience for a highly engaged, monetizable community. And more importantly, the architecture actually shields you from the day-to-day friction of running a business.
How so? Like on the customer support side?
Yeah, exactly. Think about the support load for a typical small business. The founder is just sitting there answering the same 10 questions over and over in their inbox. Like, how do I start? Or where is this specific resource?
Soul-crushing stuff.
Completely soul-crushing. But on Skool, that classroom feature replaces those repetitive email threads. You just build a structured onboarding process or a mini course.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so when someone asks a basic question, you just route them straight to the lecture hall. You automate the education part.
And I guess the feed itself becomes a utility too, right? Because instead of guessing what your audience actually wants to buy next or spending thousands of dollars on market research, you have these native polls and daily conversations happening right in your own walled garden.
Yes, the community is generating real-time market research for you.
That's super smart. But I mean, a platform doesn't just run itself just because the shiny tools are there. You can't just unlock the doors to the campus and expect a raging party to start.
Definitely not. The most successful creators on these platforms, they don't just run open-ended low-energy groups. They use a really specific strategy of time-boxed sprints.
Sprints. So like bringing a cohort of people in all at once with a shared high-urgency goal. Something like, join us for a 30-day challenge, rather than just, hey, come hang out in my club.
Right, because that creates a natural on-ramp. A cohort starts together, they have this shared mission, and the energy is artificially condensed into a specific time frame.
It just changes the whole vibe.
It completely changes the psychology of the room. It goes from this passive waiting area to an active, buzzing workshop.
Which perfectly brings us to our main case study, because this is where the theoretical architecture we've been talking about actually meets the AI engine.
Yes, this is the best part.
So in the sources, the creator is named Jam, and she runs a community called Club Jam AI for Business. And she's currently running one of these exact sprints, a 6-week AI marketing machine sprint.
And the mechanics of her sprint are just a masterclass in community design. Her members aren't just sitting around reading PDFs.
Right.
The sprint includes a comprehensive business audit. The members are actually building a custom app that they have to use daily. And Jam hosts these live Thursday sessions to literally walk them through building these systems for themselves.
The monetization tactic she's using here is honestly brilliant too. She announced that she's raising the price of the entire community after this 6-week sprint wraps up. But, and here's the kicker, she is locking current members into today's rate.
It's so smart.
It really is. She's weaponizing the energy and the timeline of the cohort to drive urgency. Like, join now, do the sprint, and lock in the lower price forever. It forces them to make a decision.
It totally does. But the heavy lifting of running this sprint, managing the cohort, answering questions, keeping the engagement high, that is where Jam completely flips the script.
Yeah, how does she handle all that?
She layers artificial intelligence on top of Skool to act as her operational staff.
Right. The daily habits outlined in the case study are just fascinating. Like, she uses this recurring cleanup prompt to establish a habit loop for her members. And she uses AI to draft broadcast posts that are specifically designed to re-engage the lurkers.
Let's actually look at the mechanics of that cleanup prompt for a second, because it isn't just a scheduled email blast. The AI is actively analyzing the engagement metrics in the background. It sees that a specific user hasn't logged in or posted anything in, say, 7 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It then drafts a highly personalized, context-aware direct message based on that specific user's last interaction and gently pulls them back into the ecosystem.
That's crazy.
Right. It creates a behavioral habit loop without Jam ever having to manually track who is slipping away.
But wait, let me pause you there. If an AI is analyzing my inactivity and then drafting a message to pull me back in, how does that not feel incredibly mechanical?
That's the big question.
Right, because if I know a machine is triggering these check-ins, doesn't the community just lose its soul? I mean, it seems like a fast track to making a space feel totally lifeless and synthetic.
And honestly, that is the exact trap most creators fall into when they first try to automate things. They just use generic AI outputs. But Jam's system works because of one foundational piece of engineering that sits at the very center of her entire workflow.
Okay, what is it?
It's called the brand voice profile.
We definitely need to get under the hood of this AI workflow engine. How is she actually training this profile so it doesn't just sound like a generic, helpful robot?
Well, she spends a significant amount of time front-loading the training. She feeds the AI her top-performing posts, her specific idioms, the cadence of her sentences, and really importantly, her sense of empathy.
So it's basically learning her personality.
Exactly. She builds this massive context window so the AI understands the true topography of her communication style. It learns when she uses humor, how she structures a greeting, and even what vocabulary she specifically avoids using.
So every single direct message, every broadcast post the AI drafts is passing through this highly tuned filter. It kind of acts like an empathy engine, you know?
That's exactly what it is.
You're basically hiring a digital apprentice, locking them in a room with everything you've ever written, every podcast you ever recorded, until they know how to answer the front door of that dinner party exactly like you would.
Spot on. And once that brand voice profile is dialed in, it unlocks the rest of the automation stack. So the first thing she builds with it is the idea bank.
Which instantly solves the blank page problem. I mean, the sheer anxiety of waking up on a Tuesday, realizing you need to post something profound just to keep the community active.
It's exhausting. But Jam uses her AI, armed with that specific brand voice profile, to generate a running list of over 50 post ideas.
50?
Yeah, it completely turns that weekly scramble for content into a pre-built backlog of high-quality, on-brand material. She simply acts as the editor at that point, just selecting what to publish.
But you know, the content generation is almost the easy part. The real time drain in a community is the direct messages. That expectation of 247 access to the founder.
And this is where the AI truly becomes an operational workforce. The AI handles the first response DMs.
Okay, how does that work in practice?
Well, if a new member in London joins at 3 a.m. Jam's time, they are just met with silence until she wakes up in her time zone. The AI delivers an immediate, warm, on-brand reply.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, it can triage routine questions, point the user directly to the specific module in the classroom they are looking for, and really just make them feel seen immediately.
Which is so important because in community building, those first 12 hours are critical. If someone joins, they introduce themselves, and they just get ignored, their enthusiasm plummets instantly.
Exactly. Triage is a perfect word for it. It's like a digital concierge that never, ever sleeps.
In looking at some of the advanced integrations she's testing in the case study, the AI is kind of moving from just a concierge to a full-on project manager.
Oh, the administrative capabilities are absolutely staggering. The AI can summarize these incredibly long, sprawling community threads for the admins.
So you don't have to read everything.
Right. You don't have to read 200 comments to understand the core debate. The AI synthesizes the prevailing sentiments and flags any rising tensions for you. Plus, it drafts weekly broadcast recaps based on whatever the most popular posts were.
And earlier we mentioned using native polls for market research. The guide says the AI can literally take the results of those member polls and automatically turn the winning option into a prioritized content calendar.
It's amazing.
It's essentially letting the community dictate the product roadmap, and then the AI just executes the planning for you.
And this creates what is arguably the most powerful dynamic in Jam's entire system.
Right.
The compounding effect.
The compounding effect.
Yeah. The community isn't just a distribution channel for her content anymore. It actually becomes the training ground for the AI.
Wait, okay, let me just trace the logic on this. If the AI is running the polls and the members are interacting with those polls, and then the AI is handling the DMs based on questions about the classroom,
Yep.
The community is basically generating its own training data in real time, aren't they?
Yes. The input from the actual users directly tunes the output of the whole system. The feedback from a poll informs the idea bank. Then the idea bank generates posts that spark new discussions. Those discussions generate new questions in the DMs. The AI analyzes all of these interactions, constantly refining its understanding of what the community wants and how jams should respond.
It's like an echo chamber, but one that gets smarter over time. The flywheel just spins faster with every single interaction, requiring less and less manual pushing from the founder.
Exactly. The system just becomes more intuitive the longer it runs.
And the absolute meta brilliance of Club Jam is that this exact workflow we are talking about right now, the brand voice profile, the idea bank, the automated DMs, that is the actual product her members are building for themselves during that 6-week sprint.
It is the ultimate expression of show, don't tell. I mean, she isn't just selling some theoretical course on how AI might optimize a business someday. She's actively running her own community using the exact systems she is teaching her cohort to build.
That is so cool.
They are experiencing the frictionless onboarding and that 24/7 responsiveness from the consumer side, while literally learning to build the architecture on the creator side.
It just proves the concept in real time. Honestly, if you are listening to this and you're staring at your own digital dinner party, feeling the burnout of playing the chef, the bouncer, and the host, this blueprint is a total paradigm shift.
It really is.
The platform, Skool, provides the structural architecture. It hacks the dopamine loop with gamification to keep retention high. It shields you from support tickets with the classroom, and it handles the recurring revenue natively. But the AI is the operational engine. It gives you the endless content backlog, the 24/7 DM triage, and that perfectly tuned brand voice that keeps the party thriving while the founder actually gets to sleep.
It is an incredibly powerful synthesis of tools. But, as we look at the trajectory of this technology, it kind of forces us to confront a rather profound shift in how we define leadership in these digital spaces.
That's so.
Well, as these AI tools get sharper, as the context windows grow and these empathy engines become virtually flawless at mimicking a founder's nuanced tone, where is the line between a community builder and an AI architect?
Oh, wow. That is genuinely unsettling to think about. Because if I'm a member of a community and I'm having this deeply profound, empathetic interaction in the DMs at 2 a.m, and then I find out a machine generated that response based on a brand voice profile, does the illusion just break?
That's the risk.
Does the whole community collapse because the human connection was manufactured?
Or, and this is the flip side, do the members simply not care so long as their problems are solved and they feel heard in the moment? If an AI can perfectly replicate a founder's knowledge and empathy without ever needing a weekend off, will members eventually prefer the hyper-responsive AI over the human founder? If the machine is indistinguishable from you, are you still the one running the community?
It completely disrupts the whole concept of parasocial relationships, doesn't it? We've always just assumed the value of a creator-led community was getting access to the human behind it.
Exactly.
But if the goal is actually just access to the creator's framework and their empathy, and the AI delivers that better and faster than the human ever could, well, maybe the role of the founder is no longer to be the host of the party. Maybe the future of community building is simply being the architect who designs the perfect robotic staff so you can finally sit down, pour yourself a drink, and just watch the party you built.
It's a wild thought.
It really is. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the systems you interact with, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time.